Hello, this is Dan with Arcade Funkade. Today we're going to show you a track and field custom build built by Arcade Funkade. And we're going to do a little walk around on this guy. I'm going to show the back, sides, front. We put some little air holes on top. And I want to show you some of the features that we have on this guy. We installed a 32-inch LG LED screen. It has a little glass over the top, not plexiglass, which is nice. We trimmed it out with some black T-molding, and the side is actually painted on with a small badge sticker on it. We have the front end is the original track and field blue color, and what we did with the control panel is we kind of built our own style control panel to add a lot of some joysticks, buttons, and to add a couple coin buttons, and we kind of modified this so it'll be able to play a lot of different games. So we're gonna run into the system right now and kind of show you what kind of games it has, the functionality, the playability, and the options this guy has. So I'm gonna start with the coin door down here right quick. This guy has a lit up coin door. We have some remote controls down here, and the reason why I'm hitting this early is because usually it's one of the biggest things that people try to remember. So here's a LG monitor. Inside, you could flip your volume up and down by simply pointing into the coin door hole. And you can see here a little icon will come up. If I press it on the monitor itself, it won't work. But if you go down into the coin door, it'll actually turn on. So you can see that it goes up and down. So there's a sound bar inside, and there's also the LED sound working at the same time. So it has a lot of sound going on inside. It's pretty nice and loud. So there's that. There's two remotes, one's for the soundbar, one's for the monitor, and we have our coin wiring all set up here. So we have fully functional coin door and a coin catcher. So there's a little box down there that catches all the coins. There's a little box here as well that kind of helps us, allows us to then perform some menu options. So there's a couple little USBs here. And there's a little tiny switch right here, a little button. You press that guy and it takes you into a menu option up top. So I'll press that, just kind of show you guys what that does. So it just takes us to a little I/O test. So you can test out buttons in that if something goes wrong. You're like, oh man, which button is it? You go in there, you press your A button, which is your top button here on your first player side. You press that and it gives you a little menu. You press up, down, left, right, and you can see the little arrows lighting up. Left, right. Then you have the buttons down here. So as you press them down here, it shows you what's going on. You have your start button, coin button. Now, to play this guy, to get out of here, just press start and A at the same time. So we're going to press the start, player one start, and the A button at the same time. And we're going to jump out of there. So we have this little speaker going on here. So we're gonna jump out of this guy. There's game settings. Well, you know what? Let's show you that stuff. There's game settings in here. That is definitely gonna kill us. Hold on. There we go. There you go. I gotta kill off the sound for a second. So as we go through the games, you could actually edit your game list. So the game list has a little game setting here where you could press the A button and go to the difficulty and lives settings. Press the B button, which is again A, B, C. So you have the top white button here will be your edit game list. Your C will be your edit favorites list. Your D will be the back list, so we can jump out. So if you press difficulty and lives, what's neat is that if you press that, you could highlight the game of your choice. Go over, press that, and you press the A button until you set your difficulty to either easy or hard. So the lower the number, the easier it's going to be. And we're going to leave this guy in easy as it was. Some of them show an option for lives on how many lives. Obviously, this is a fighting game, so you can't really choose lives. But there's certain games that will allow that. As we scroll through, you'll see that the lives little icon will come up here. C, if you press C, is a unified set. If you press C here, what that does then, it kind of gives difficulty, the same setting of difficulty to all games across the whole board. So that's kind of neat. We go through, and we're going to go through and see what we can find here that has, there's so many games here. I'm trying to find something that has, oh, there you go, lives. Okay, so Metal Slug, there you go, Metal Slug 3. That guy has 3 lives, so we can change that by pressing the B button, and you can see how many lives you could actually have, so that's kind of neat. And then we go and we just press back, and you go back to your settings, to your original settings, and you could edit game list. You could press B, and it'll display all the games that are on there, which is 3,188 games. And then you could use another setting. So now you could display or hide a single game. So let's say we're going to hide Metal Slug. You just press the A button, and it'll block it out. But if you press it again, it'll bring it back. Now, if you're highlighting this guy, and you press Hide All, you press the C button, third button from left to right, it'll then hide every game. You'll see the little red mark there. It kind of blocks every game out except for the one that's highlighted. So that's really neat. So if you want to hide all, you press C. If you want to display all again, you're like, oh, I pressed the wrong button. You press B, and it'll display them again. Now what's neat is that this isn't deleting your games. All it's doing is hiding your games. So if you want to turn this, let's say that this game, being that it's themed after a track and field, if you go in and you want to set it up as exclusively as a track and field, all you have to do is find the game, highlight it, and then just hide all games. Hide all games, and it'll turn everything off except for the game that's highlighted. And you just go back, you press the save button, and it'll save your selection. So we're going to go back here and just go to save setting and reboot. I'm going to show you, and you just control everything with the A, B, and C button, which is really neat. And the D is the bottom left. So another thing, one thing that really comes up often is the idea of how do we escape a game. So once you're in a game, you select a game with the A button or the start button. Now this A and E here, these are your coin buttons here. So for the player 1 or player 2, you could press either one of them for a coin button and use them as a coin button. Now to exit a game, what you're going to want to do is press these 2 buttons at the very same time. Press start, player 1 start, and any one of these coin buttons at the very same time. And what that does then is that it'll allow you to jump out of a game. Sometimes we're looking through the list, and we press start on the wrong game, and we want to jump out pretty fast. So it's one of those deals. So here we are. I'm going to explain this setup here. So if we're looking for a game, you can easily scroll down one game at a time with the joystick, just pressing down. Or if you want to jump, you can see it's page 11 to 20. If you want to jump an entire page at a time, you just press right, and it'll go from 11 to 21 to 21 to 30. So it'll do a full page at a time if you go left and right. Now if you hold it, it'll go really quick and it'll just keep flying. So that's really neat. Now there's a ton of games in here, 3,188 games. One of the biggest issues that we had with these large systems is that we couldn't find a specific game. We'd have to spend 10, 15 minutes just looking for a game. So in this case, we don't have, we'd have a hard time finding track and field because it's such a large list. So we go over here, and we're going to look over, and it says A is for OK. That's for selecting a game. B is going to be for the most recent games that we've played, and C is going to be a search button. So we have our top button, A, B, and C. Now I'm going to press the recent button, and it's going to show a list here of the last games that we've played. So we played Excite Bike, Track and Field, Pac-Man, King of Fighters, Contra, and the list goes on. There's a bunch of games in here that we were kind of messing around with, kind of test out, and they kind of build up a little bit of a recent list. Now to go back, just press the D button to return, which is this guy, and then you just go back to the original list. Now if you want to do a search, and you're like, you know what, we already have it in the recent, the track and field, but let's do the search. So let's press this guy, the number 3, the button C button, and with a joystick, we're going to be navigating this menu. We're just going to highlight the letter, the T. I'm going to spell out track and field, and sometimes you don't have to spell the whole thing out. It'll just start coming up. It'll start throwing up games at you, so you can kind of pick and choose and see if that may be in there. So there you go. I got track in, and it wasn't even fully written out, and we already have track and field coming up here. So that's really nice. So when we get to this point, some people go, well, what the heck? Why can't I jump into a game? You press the start button, you press something else, and it won't allow you to jump in. So what happens here is that it requires coins. So what we're going to do is press the coin button 2 times, 2 or 3 times. And now we have coins in the system. So now we can go back, highlight the game that we want. Oh, we still have the little cursor over here. So we highlight it. Once you see this little blue ball come up, you know that it's highlighting the games you like. Now we can select our game now that we have coins in the system. And this is you only have to do this if you're going to be doing a search. So it's a little more complicated, but we wanted to kind of go over this with you. So we press the A button, and it'll go directly to the game. So it'll start loading up. And we'll see this guy. Usually loads up in about 4 or 5 seconds. And there it is. Now with this, we have a full size screen, which is neat because you don't have that border on each side with the like some other monitors at times. They kind of break down and the look of the game. So what we're going to do here is turn on the volume again. All right. So I'm going to show this guy working. And this, when we play this game with the 2 outer buttons. I'll do one of these. Let's see. All right. So that's the track and field, and what we have to do now. Let's say you want to jump out to another game. What you do is you press start and coin at the same time, and just hold it, and it'll just jump straight out into the main menu. So you can see how many coins you have here, and what you could do you could just load up on coins, so you're not low on coins. And you could also use the coin door too if you want to have kids pop a couple quarters in there just to kind of mess around, or just to give that nostalgic feel of throwing quarters into this guy. Maybe use it as a giant piggy bank. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. So there's just a ton of games, a lot of the older games, and all the games we remember. Paperboy, look at this guy. So this is another cool thing, that the other feature. Some of our older systems didn't have the video in picture here. So when you were looking through the game list, you didn't have the option to see the image of the game. So now every time you go down, you can actually see every single game before it's selected. So that way you're not jumping into a game that you don't really remember or like much. Or you get to discover games that you've played before, you didn't remember their names or whatever, and it's one of those things. And so that's one of the things that we try to do here. Yeah, so there's so many little options and things in here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start another game up. Oh, I'm gonna press the A button to start up. And you can tell how clear this thing is now. It's a 1280 by 720. 1280 is usually where it's running. So that's pretty neat. So it up converts all these games. Yeah, we're just picking random games here. Darn it. Yeah, the whole idea is to show you guys a little bit of gameplay, get some ideas of the possibilities of the game system, and the clarity of the level of the sound and the images too. They look really good in the screen here, super crisp, and you can still see that a little bit of pixelation from the high resolution monitor, but the low grade graphics that they usually had back in the day on a CRT. This is a 1500 kilohertz low res game, So I'm going to hold the start and coin. And we're going to jump back out. And anyway, so yeah, so what we wanted to do is kind of show you guys what we had here. So now with the credits being in there, usually you can set them to whatever you like. You can set it in free play, or you could just set it to regular credits. If you go to your game menu, you can actually change that out, and you could do that. Oh, here you go. Let's get some Mario in there. Yeah. So hopefully you guys get a better idea of what this thing can do. Or the Pandora's box. We're actually using a Pandora Saga 12. And this guy's kind of a modified model of a game board that we're using. And it has so many little games. Now, there's a lot of other things we can do with these guys. We have another system that's also a modified system. And we have that guy set up with, hooked up with internet, or I'm sorry, with Wi-Fi. So you could hook it up at home, and you have a store you can choose games from and download games on your own. So it's really simple. You don't have, and there's nothing to pay. Just download from a giant server. So that'll be the next video we're going to be making, and hopefully you guys like this. You guys enjoy this, and if you have any questions, let us know. You can give us a call here at 402-641-4482. And we are Arcade Funcade. Give us a call and check us out on arcadefuncade.net. If you have any questions about this guy, email us at arcadefuncade@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to assist you with any questions you may have. Thanks for watching. This is Dan with Arcade Funcade again, and game on, guys.